welcome to the Lost Lines. Here we present to you many interesting, ingenious, and engaging stories written by authors both famous and infamous from all corners of the world. The title of today's story is Mother is Back, taken from 51 Sleepless Nights, written by Tobias Wade. Tobias Wade is a former neuroscience researcher who spent several years of selling scripts in Los Angeles, but was ultimately frustrated with a lack of control over his projects. A general stubbornness and unwillingness to compromise his creative pursuits led him to start his own publishing house to do things his own way. He now works full-time as a novelist and publisher, putting out a new book every month with Haunted House Publishing. The main characters in this story are Boy, which is narrated by O3, Dad by the Oprio, and Mother by Misty Sen. Special thanks to Soham De for helping us with the sound effects. If you enjoy our story, like, share and subscribe. Starting Mother is Back by Tobias Wade.
Love is blind, and so is hope. But something does not become true just because you want it badly enough. I don't know why it is in my house, but I am not going to be fooled. I say it because she isn't my mom. She looks like her and talks like her and smiles like her, but it isn't her. The worst part is Dad doesn't even notice. I saw them dancing in the kitchen when I got home from school. Frank Sinatra was playing on the stereo, his smooth voice propelling their tangled bodies in a waltz across the room. My dad's eyes were closed as his head rested on its shoulder, and he seemed genuinely happy, happier than I've seen him in a long time. I just dropped my backpack and stared. It let go of my father and hugged me. I stood stiff as a monument. Mom never used to hug me when I got home. She knew I liked having my space. But there's no denying how soft and warm she felt, or the lavender odor of her shampoo washing over me. We are having homemade pizza with the cheese baked into the crust. My dad's favorite thing in the world. And seeing him so happy, I did not have the heart to say anything. I just went to my room like a coward. I just pretended everything was fine. Maybe if I wasn't a little happy to see her too, I would have fought against it harder. It has been hard for all of us since Mom died. But that was no excuse to let it into our house, just so we could pretend that we were a family again. But Mom, my real mom, would put me to bed without staying to watch me fall asleep. She would hold on to my dad's arm when he talked, but she wouldn't dig her nails in so deeply that drew blood. She wouldn't forget to blink for hours at a time. 2 days have passed. I've been struggling to decide what to do. No, that's not quite true. I know what needs to be done. But it would be so much easier to just keep pretending like my dad. Maybe in time, I would even forget that a drunk driver T-boned my mother's SUV while she and my dad were returning home from the theaters. I would forget the bloodstains on the asphalt and the hours I've spent waiting for her in the emergency room. Maybe I would even forget how it felt when she didn't come out. Then again, maybe those are the memories that aren't real. They certainly don't feel real when my mother, sits between us on the sofa to watch the evening news. But letting her be replaced, even if it was easier for Dad and me, wasn't any way to respect my real mom. It was for her, not for me, that made me finally speak up. Dad, we need to talk about Mom. I had waited until it went to the bathroom, which doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to to corner my dad in his bedroom. He just kept reading, not even returning my gaze. He knew what I was going to say. He just didn't want to hear me. Do you remember what happened last month when she was in that accident?
It's getting late. You should go to bed so we'll be ready for school tomorrow.
Dad, this is serious. Please tell me that you remember. I heard a flush from the bathroom. There wasn't much time. I would never get an answer out of Dad with it here. Dad was watching the bathroom door too, like a kid praying for the bell to ring before the teacher collected homework. The shower began to run, and I left out a deep breath I didn't even realize I was holding. Dad sighed too. There was no getting out of this.
Yeah, I remember.
He stared back into my eyes. I finally had his attention. Do you remember the hospital? And what happened after?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad crash. We are also fortunate that we all came out unharmed.
His eyes were keen and sharp. He could not have forgotten. He was just trying to make me accept it without having to admit it. For my real mom's sake, though, it had to be said. She died, Dad. We went to a funeral. He didn't flinch, didn't even blink. He just smiled.
Don't be ridiculous. She's in the bathroom right now.
I ran over to him and grabbed him by his shoulders. I shook him, but he didn't fight it. He just kept staring at me like I was a puzzle he was trying to solve. You are lying. We both know what happened. Why are you lying to me?
Aren't you happier this way? If you think about what happened, really think about it, you'll realize this is the best thing for you.
There, that was proof. He wasn't trying to evade anymore. He wasn't even averting his eyes in denial. The shower stopped running, but he kept his eyes on me. That's when I realized I could not remember the last time I saw him blink. Dad had been in the accident too. Why had not I wondered why he came out unharmed? I had been so busy mourning Mom that I had not stopped to think. He must have seen it in my face, because his smile stretched wider.
Now you understand. But you must not let mother know that I told you. She wants to have a family so badly. I'd hate to think what she would do if she found out you did not think of her that way.
The bathroom door opened. It stood there, wrapped in a towel. She walked nonchalantly over to my dad, or who I thought was my dad. They both turned to look at me.
What are you still doing awake? Is everything all right?
My other dad said.
He was just going to bed. Everything is fine, isn't it?
I nodded.
Come, let me tuck you in.
My other mother started moving toward me, but she stopped when she saw me flinch.
Let your mother tuck you in. Perfect parents like us deserve to have the perfect son. I hope we won't need to replace him.
He laughed at his own joke, and she put her hand on his arm as she laughed with him. I turned around and headed for my room, so I would not have to see the blood dripping down his arm.
You were listening to Mother is Back by Tobias. Wade.